Hi, my name's Tim Coos. Today I want to talk about the national epidemic of the 21st century. More specifically, no, we're not talking about AIDS. We're not talking about salmonella. I want to talk today about obesity. So in the last 20 years alone, we've gone from over 32% of adults being obese to 41.5. And we're not talking a little muffin top. We're talking like morbidly obese about to get their ankle chopped off just because, they're just that far down the line. First of all, I just want to make this very clear. I don't want to sound too insensitive here. I'm going to be pretty blunt to the point. I used to be a bigger kid myself, used to get made fun of, all that stuff. I know how hard some of those habits can be to break, some lifestyle choices. So I just want to make it clear. I'm not trying to be super insensitive here. Like, I kind of get it. But, another thing I want to talk about, obesity is kind of scary because it's a little bit of a national security risk when you think about it. So this other TED Talk that I listened to, this lieutenant general in the Army, he basically was in charge of PT at this small Army base, and he was saying that 75% of new recruits couldn't pass their minimum standards. And it's been like kind of whittled down over the years. Like we're talking like 11 push-ups in 1 minute, 22 sit-ups in 1 minute, and a 1 mile run, and 75% of people couldn't do it. Those are not very hard criteria. It's kind of scary. To think that, our soldiers can't even run really a mile. It's a little bit of a security risk. Another example is cops, right? We all know cops that are a little bit kind of on the bigger side. I'm not trying to be mean here, but I don't feel perfectly safe with kind of like bigger cops around me. Bigger as in like they don't look like they could run a mile if they needed to. I would feel more safe around cops that look like this. Now, I get it. This might seem like only appearance-based. But they also have functional strength, it looks like, so I'd feel much safer with them. So what's the issue? Do we just not have enough PE in schools? Are we not teaching the right physical education in schools? What are some of the solutions we can do? It's been thrown out there, some of these, but ban fast food, limit screen time, force them to exercise. They would work. They're also highly illegal and borderline communist. So what can we do? Well, so for modern problems, it helps to sometimes look in the past for some perspective. So I decided to look at ancient Rome. So ancient Roman soldiers, lean, mean fighting machines, right? There were no obese soldiers. You can make the argument they didn't have enough food. That's not true, though. Apparently, they were eating upwards of 3,000 calories a day of pure, like, barley, wheat, bacon, like, pretty good food, and tons of wine, apparently. They go on, like, 10-mile rucks with full gear. And wrestle for hours, and that'd be the daily fitness regime. Like, they were crazy. So that's enough food to get pretty big if you're dormant. But what separated them from us? Or what separated them from other militaries at the time? You could argue that they had better training, better nutrition, but nowadays we have better training, better nutrition. We know more about muscular physiology and more about nutrition than ever, and yet we have more obese people ever. So, what made them so ripped? Keep an open mind here. Bathhouses, right? Let's talk a little bit about this. The idea is, I became so intrigued with this idea in Rome. Like, it's kind of funny. Like, they would work out together, go straight to the bathhouse and bathe together. I just thought it was the funniest thing. But after a little bit more research, each bathhouse incorporated 3 distinct rooms. One was called the tepidarium, which is the steam room, the calidarium, which is the sauna, and the frigidarium, which is the cold plunge, and they go between each room pretty much the entire time they're there. And they were encouraged to go not just for the recovery, but for the community, right? So the crazy thing is, too, they were way ahead of their time. You got UFC fighters now incorporating ice baths straight into the sauna, back and forth, back and forth. The most highly performing athletes in the world are now incorporating this. The Romans were way ahead of their time. They just were recovering so much better than every other military at the time. So my point is here, we need to recover. Like, it's not the recovery aspect I'm after, it's the community aspect. So a story is that a few buddies and I, after practice, we'd shower together in the shower rooms, like no covers, no nothing. People would call us weird for doing that, but I was like, you guys are being weird for not wanting to shower after. That's gross, because we had class right after. Anyways, point is, it was no secret that we were also some of the strongest, most fit kids on the team. And we're also best friends. We still talk to this day. So if we incorporated bathhouses into the American fitness community, I think it would bring obesity rates way down. it's just such an out-of-pocket idea that I think it might work. Just for the sense of community. There's like murals on the wall to stimulate athletes, stimulate the senses, like makes you like want to go back out and exercise some more. So I think it's such an out-of-the-box idea that it might actually work. And, slowly but surely, but I think that sense of community and emphasis on recovery from hard workouts, I think it would make a very big difference, especially in high schools. Not in a weird way, but anyways. Yeah, it's just such a crazy idea that it might just work. And, yeah, that's pretty much my TED Talk. So, thanks.